Hello, greetings. Sorry I have to speak. Although I have something in my mouth, I need it for some sugar, energy. So I'll be eating. I know it's rude and talking. So please forgive me for this. However, I just remember something, and due to my condition, health conditions, mental condition, I could forget about this. What I'm going to say now, many people will go against me around the world because people are coming, even Sunnis are coming to realize what Shiaism is, Shiaism, and even a European lady from UK, if I may name her, Lauren Booth. I was going to say Wood. I'm so into David Wood, into David. Lauren Booth. So, she went to Masuma Ikum shrine in Iran, and I saw all this really. We were told that Imam Ali's name one day, Insaniyat Utegi, will wake up. An Indian Shia had written, इंसानों को बेदर्द तो होने दो, सब उठेंगे like कहेंगे Hussein हमारा है, Hussein is mine. So I had found this quote in Karachi, my own research, like what the Hindus were saying for Imam Hussein. Again now, I'm against the apne ghar, like this Muhammad Rasulullah, apne ghar ko aag lagana, koi inse सीखे. तो वो गाना है ना फूल आहिस्ता फेंको, Indian song from the Indian movie. How I've come to this conclusion is due to many years of contemplation and questioning. Why couldn't Imam Hussein save Yazid and his army? Why didn't Prophet Muhammad bless Aisha, the little girl, wife, bride, little girl? So, but then the Shias will tell you that it could be that she was 19 years old, not 6, playing with dolls. That's from the Sunni sources. So I could be blown away. So what I did, how I came to this and, conclusion against Shiaism to forget the Sunni Islam. No, but now I have to go to the Sunni Hadiths to really listen to the Jews and what they were trying to tell us at that time. So once I realized that if I was during the time of Prophet Muhammad, I may not have taken him as the prophet. Until Imam Hussein in Karbala, I would have changed. So, through regarding my Shia hadiths and everything, I was thinking this way. So now when I read about these Jews being killed by Prophet Muhammad, although they fought against him, they didn't believe in him, they had enmity against him for no reason or rhyme, but that he was Allah's messenger, trying to invite them to good and all this, right? Doing good. What is the matter with you people? We are told in another verse of the Quran that I I'm inviting you to good and you want to kill me and to, silence me. About, I think, Saleh or some other prophet, it is written in the Quran, this verse. So anyway, so this way I was thinking, well, even if he was not, even if Rasulullah was a true prophet, as a Shia, as a prayer answered of Allama Rashid Tarabi, a genius of his time, Zakir, Allama Rashid Tarabi, a religious scholar, our Shia religious scholar. He used to come to our place because when he would be reciting majlises in Nishta Park, our house was opposite and all this. And before I was born, he gave my mother, through my father, a prayer, taweez, like written, and that taweez was supposed to be put under my parents' bed. And for 40 days, all this, right? My parents had to do something. So then I was conceived and then I survived. I was the second surviving child of my mother. But through Allama Rashid Rabi's prayers, we thought. Although her aunt, my mother's aunt Zahra, had a Devi, but she now was in United States. So Devi used to just stones throw, from the air, stones used to come. So one stone, which my mother's puppy's father's sister's husband had in a ring. So that stone of Devi saved my brother when he was a child and had very high fever. He was in the hospital, children's hospital, and they put him in an ice tub. And they said he might not survive. So then Agha Mahmud, helped, gave the stone that Devi had given him. He encircled Zuhair, and then they said that stone disappeared because I guess it was supposed to be used once only to save a life or something like that. So then the stone disappeared after that. So Devi's gift to Agha Mahmud saved my one brother's life in childhood. Okay, so, but I was Allama Rashid Rabi's dua surviving. And so why would I go against Shia after all those years? Yes, I would. Because I contemplated, and I used to think that, for one example, is that, like, I felt it yesterday while sleeping, before going to sleep. Like I used to tell myself, then later on when a lot came on me, I was like, no. And I was contemplating, like, no, even though I went through a lot, but still, I would not leave this religion. So, excuse me. So what happened is, I was like, I couldn't find the proof for Prophet Muhammad. And he didn't seem like that. But we could never say something like that, right? Like his sacrifice and his going up to Mi'raj, meeting God. I started to think, like, why couldn't he take all the people? Why couldn't he give this, like the Hindus have? That if you do this meditation, breathing and Kriya yoga, or if you do that, then you yourself can sit, and you don't even have to go to the mountain, Himalayas. Like Prophet Muhammad used to go to the Hira mountain hills or something. So as we were told, and the angel told him there that now declare. He used to meditate, I mean, contemplate, not meditate. He already knew. It's in Shia Islam too, right? That he used to contemplate going to the mountain Hira. And then God finally told him, it's time for you to declare. Because he used to go there and say, when my time will come that I have to then bring these people to the true God, one God, worshipping idols and this nonsense is happening, and burying little girls, infant children alive, female. So he used to contemplate on these terms. So it is in the Shia account. Anyways, when I thought of him, I didn't see anything much special about Prophet Muhammad. And thinking of Imam Ali also, like I couldn't, because when I separated from Miss Tissa and they wouldn't allow me to see her, I started to become extremely sensitive in that depression, hellish years. So I started to contemplate that, people here okay, now I've forgotten my point, in Karachi, God forsaken, and all this. And it was like a thriller to live in Karachi for me now. It was like a jungle. I'm living in a jungle with, and Mr. Saad taught me to speak the truth, like Imam Ali, right, would, under all circumstances. So what happened to me, there was a time I just wanted, just not to see any thriller movies. We're going out and it's depressing. It gets worse and worse in Karachi. And I didn't feel like I belonged in this God-forsaken city or country. So like that, I couldn't watch thriller movies also, American movies for entertainment. Or I just wanted to watch some light comedy, romantic love story, but very light and all this. And if a love story, at any separation, I'd cry and cry and cry. That made me extremely vulnerable, sensitive. So what happened is, I couldn't read Imam Ali's Najil Balagha, those letters, and the Mawiya and him, and Mawiya and him. And I was just in that phase where I started to question Imam Ali too. Yeah, like, what is this? Couldn't there be another religion? Then I would settle myself down, because questioning Imam Hussein's Karbala was out at that time. But it did come later on. Like later on, I even questioned Imam Sajjad's and all this aftermath of Karbala. Imagine who was sick, and so in Islam, if you're sick, you don't participate in the holy wars. But I questioned him, who accompanied the women folk of his family, Rasulullah's family, ladies, children, falling off camels as they were, after Karbala, having slaughtered the Bani Hashim, males and children, some of them. So they had to be accompanied, and Sham-e-Ghariba comes, the evening. Anyways, I questioned all that, and I couldn't take Karbala, and I used to get cut off, like psychologically I couldn't, because it was too heavy for me, too heavy. And then wondering, well, what did Ali Akbar go first, and things like that, and questioning where was Imam Ali when Umar bin Khattab came to burn the house of Fatima and threaten her and all this. and then finally injured her. So Imam Ali was nowhere to be found. Then I asked Sayyid Yusuf, and he gave me an answer that didn't really, I didn't understand. That if Bibi Fatima was saving Imam Ali's life from Omar, she was trying to save her husband's life, because they would have dragged him to give the bet to Abu Bakr and all this. So that's why Bibi came in the middle of her husband, and she was injured. Such a man who was, and Imam Ali could not, they tell us that at that time, Imam Ali's sword was inside, because the Muslims would be so disunited that I cannot tell you. So, okay, I cannot complete this, just in silent shock. So, Imam Ali, who had fought many a battles and brought down many very experts in army, this soldier thing, experts in using the sword and this, fighting, what do you call them, right? So thank you for helping me with the words. You can complete the sentence and bring your word here. So I thought I would rather go for Imam Hussain at that time than going back to Imam Hussain. Or when I think of Shaitan and Iblis, I could not find an answer why this world was created, why God had to create human beings. And so going back to Imam Hussain. So this is how I then think about those Jewish ladies, 16, 17, or whatever age they were, that they lost their husbands. When I, as a Shia, after 1400 years, am saying that I may not have been a follower of Rasulullah at the time. Did I have a choice? Would I have had a choice? I mean, not just, a peaceful person who's doing his own or her own work or her own spirituality, maybe, from worshipping idols and like that. So I have to complete this before that. Just my energy is depleting, it's hemorrhaging. So I'll just complete this and war. Jewish ladies, husband, and they maybe fell in love and they got married like that. The Jews. But so we were told, out of help, Rasulullah was so caring. So why not make them sisters? That thing had gone. Mother of believers had come for the wives of the Prophet, but sister captives. If Rasulullah is scared, you see, at that time, put yourself in that war thing, the opposite, what do you call that? The opposite side. And even if Rasulullah is the true prophet, I think he should have said that you are my sisters, come to my house. I have Aisha is there, Zainab bin Josh is there, who was my cousin. They will take care of you. We were told that Bibi Fatima the Zahra used to nurse people during war. Now they have these nurses during World War I or II, right? So, no sister. They had to marry. Islam had made it this way. You say, no, 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 don't come near me, don't touch me. Like, this is not, okay, for us Muslims, even for us Shia no, a Muslim, just a Muslim. Don't even think of me as a Shia Muslim now. Just a Muslim, like looking at it through the Sunni eyes, right? Looking at it through any eye. How could your thing allow a woman? Yeah, I would be like, so I was literally like going down and no, no, don't touch me. My husband has just died. I'm not in love with you. But in our Islam, we are told, a young Maulvi comes and says, I want to marry you. A Sayyid comes. No, I'm sorry, I'm in love with someone else. They don't understand that. We are told that we're supposed to marry the most pious, and it was a good proposal. A proposal has come, it is a blessing from God. Even if you don't love him, leave this love shove aside. For Islam's sake, marry him. He's going to help you. Because maybe no one wants to marry you because, you're, maybe you have polio or you have a defect. Or in Islam, we're told that we're supposed to marry to just looking at the piety of a person, not out of love or anything. But these poor women from the pagan sides or from the Jewish side, they may have loved their husband. Like we see the Westerners, holding hands, and they fall in love. Falling in love and romantic walks and togetherness. And our thing is very on piety, not on heart. Hearts of people can go astray. There's a verse in the Quran. So even if, like I'm just thinking, even if he was a true prophet Rasulullah, let's say, so Imam Hussain has definitely given us the foundation of La ilaha illallah. Like and so Islam. So he's dug a grave for all Hindus and all this, right? Now I may sound like a criminal, like Tahmina Durrani. You may not like what I'm saying. She looked like a criminal. She has written in her book, like I look like the one who's, outspoken or anyways. So some people, they like what has happened to the Hindus against the Kashmiri Muslims. You may think, just they are dishonest people. Hindus, idol worshippers are dishonest, deceptive, treacherous. Excuse me. And you grief, they just want to go and be happy. Because Imam Ali himself has said that grief is half of old age. Grieving. So who wants to grieve for anyone? They will tell me, the Shias. Like only, this is a miracle, Karbala, and people coming and grieving for Imam Hussain. So it's a lot. I have a lot to say, but here pieces, taking pieces from here and there and sharing with you, cutting myself off, like going back to war again. Rasulullah. So a Sayyid there or Imam Ali wants to marry me. And I have been the chief of the tribe of the Jews. They've killed my father. They said, Imam Ali is telling me that he's the... And no, Imam Ali can't marry me because he's married to Fatima Zahra now. Oh yes. So Imam Ali can't marry those captive women who are married or their husbands now kept captives also alive. So Surah Nisa ayat. But Rasulullah wants to marry me. So I put myself like, in everyone's shoes, like, if I was Umar bin Khattab, would I be jealous of Imam Ali? No, no, no. If God wants to, if Imam Ali is the Imam, leader, piety comes when you keep, jealousy doesn't come. So no, I didn't like Umar bin Khattab being jealous of, I could not understand. When God is commanded, if God commands that my aunt, let's say my aunt Muqaddas becomes the Buzurg, why should I be jealous of her? I'll be happy for her. And each one deserves its own work, and God has chosen her, right? This was instilled in me from childhood. So I would not be jealous that God chose my aunt and not me. This question never, I thought of it, but in my heart, the question of jealousy would not arise. I would not question God on that. But I started to question God on human sufferance, depression, and going to psychiatrists, not finding. From the Quran, we are told, and there's an ayat, that the healing comes to the believers, and this is the healing. I did that also, so like that, okay, I'm here and there, okay, pieces, back to the war. Just put yourselves in that place. I have no words. I mean, I would be shaking, like, don't touch me, please. You just killed me. And I don't know whether you are the true prophet or not. But they told us that, okay, now going into detailed thing. They told us that Safiya bint Huway always believed in one God. She was a pure heart. Pure heart? Quran ayat says, do not ascribe purity to yourselves. Only pure heart comes from Rasulullah, chosen ones. So no one has a pure heart. It's all ego. We don't know where this ego sneaks up from. Even the shirk, there are subtle shirks, polytheism. There's subtle polytheism in people. Even Sunnis who may say, they worship in one God and they don't call on any other, but they don't realize in their lives if you give preference to one beard, oh, my hair, I have to straighten it. I look at myself, and no. This could be a subtle, like you're giving attention to yourself. But then Rasulullah says that, look, make your face. You can put gulab on your face and say Rasulullah's sweat was gulab. You can give attention to your face and all that until a certain, to a certain extent. Keep yourselves clean and look after yourselves, perfume. Rasulullah, Allama Majlisi says, I don't know how far that narration is true, that Rasulullah liked three things. One was perfume, other was beautiful women, and the third I've forgotten. Or like cleanliness, or that haya, shyness, is part of my shyness. Haya, shame, shyness. So he's shy to tell you people, Surah Azab, to leave since you've been here for a long time now and wanting to ask him questions, and now don't. When he got married to Zainab bin Josh, Surah Azab, we are told in the ayat, he's shy to tell you to leave his house. So all these things didn't sum up, didn't, they were all, I was confused in my religion. On one hand this, on the other hand that. On one hand he's shy to tell his guests to leave because they're sitting there overtime on the wedding night of, let's say, Zainab and... But here, yeah, Safiya bint Huway had a pure heart and she was from the pure heart. We were told even Zainab bint Ali was not a complete masoom, meaning completely innocent, 100%, like Panjatan Pak, Rasulullah, Fatima, Ali, Hassan, Hussain. And thereafter the Imams. Imams have to be 100% pure, infallible. So how can Safiya bin Huway be of pure heart? And she believed in one God. Okay, she believed in one God and she was from the house of Harun and Musa. She was their relative. So Prophet Muhammad, she wanted to marry Prophet Muhammad just after the death. I mean, give her some time to grieve, right? But maybe that's why Yazid didn't give Imam Hassan's women folks, the second day or the third day there. I don't know when they had to go as captives. They were taken from Karbala to Kufa then Sham. Because maybe Rasulullah was not giving them that period of mourning. We used to cry on that like anything feel it. That Ali Rasulullah, after killing their father, brother, beloved, their two sons, nephews, nieces, no, not nieces, because women are not allowed to go to war in Islam. After killing, so they were not given that time for mourning. I mean, I used to wonder when the 12th Muharram used to come. Oh my God, Kafala has been taken. One day morning, what? Maybe Rasulullah also didn't give them any morning time in the battle of Khandaq, Khaybar, killing their husband and all this. Maybe that's why Yazid's army was doing this, did this. And the women taking... So if anywhere there's this surah is like a pocket, small little thing, of Shias having that piece of sympathy, like my Shia heart having that small piece of sympathy for Hussein and his Rasulullah's children, grandchildren, then they can use Safiya bint Jahash and say, no, our Rasulullah was a true prophet. If our Rasulullah was a true prophet, then and husband has just died. Safiya's husband. 1 month. But we are not, I don't know if Allama Majlisi or any Shia account has given such detailed thing about life story about Safiya bint Huway. So some of our books are not even translated in English, but they could be translated in Urdu. I don't know how to read Urdu, read or write Urdu. I'm an illiterate in Urdu. So what shall I do now? Where shall I go? I'm thinking. But after a month, do you think even if it was after a month or two, it's taken me 1400 years to find out if Rasulullah was a true prophet. 1400 years. I mean, it's taken me in my life at least some 53 years now. And I still feel, no, I don't think I would have been a Muslim at the time of Rasulullah's life and declaration of his prophethood until maybe in Karbala, wanting to help Imam Hussein or being with Imam Hussein or becoming a Shia then. So can you blame, I mean, how can Rasulullah take these, having killed their fathers even, take them as wives, and they have surrendered themselves and said, yes, marry us. Huh? Ask yourselves. I'll be like, please, if you are a true prophet, don't touch me. For the sake of your truthful prophethood, and I'm not in love with you. I just lost my husband. Okay? Think about it. It's really like shuddering. So, as I have shuddered when the Zakir recites Sham, court of Yazid, and asking for Kanizi, yes, in slave girl, Imam Hussein's 3 years old daughter, Sakina, as I've shuddered at that. So, no, now I'm not going to shudder. And yes, when I listen to this, now I've kept a stone heart. I don't know how I'm in control of that heart, this heart of mine that I have. But for the sake of truth, even when there is some oppression here on me. So please excuse me, sorry, I have this cough. So I'll continue later. I just get stopped emotionally in this shock. Words don't flow, expression, I can't express myself properly. Hopefully, I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, maybe it will take a year for me to do research and then come back here, that final research, gathering all the pieces and be able to give you evidence with references on my fingertips or the tip of my tongue, and also with the great memory and great expression, words that emotionally I will not be stopped, taking pauses and then eating my words up one day. Until then, I'll just do these piecemeal videos and would hope that you would contemplate on my side also. Thank you very much. I'll continue later.